In the biting cold of a winter's night, a tiny, shivering bundle was left on the doorstep of an old, weathered house. Inside, a man named Arthur, whose life had been quiet and solitary, heard a faint cry piercing the silence. He opened his door to find a baby wrapped in a thin blanket, her small face red from the cold. A note was pinned to the blanket, its words simple and heartbreaking. "Please take care of her. I can't." Arthur's heart, which he thought had long grown old and weary, swelled with a feeling he hadn't known in years. He brought the baby inside, cradling her gently. He named her Lily, for she seemed as delicate and precious as a flower blooming in the snow. From that moment on, Arthur's quiet life was transformed. His small house, once a haven of solitude, was now filled with the sounds of a child giggles, cries, and the pitter-patter of tiny feet. He learned to mix formula, change diapers, and sing lullabies. His hands, accustomed to woodwork and gardening, became surprisingly adept at braiding hair and buttoning up tiny coats. The villagers watched with a mix of curiosity and admiration. Arthur, the quiet recluse, had become a father in every sense of the word. He poured all his love, wisdom, and savings into raising Lily. He taught her to read by the fireplace, to identify the stars in the night sky, and to treat every living creature with kindness. Meanwhile, the woman who had left her, Alara, watched from a distance. She had been young, scared, and utterly alone. Giving up her daughter was the hardest decision of her life, a wound that never healed. She never had another child. Feeling she didn't deserve the joy of motherhood after what she had done, she moved to a nearby town, her life a constant, quiet penance. She would often walk to the edge of Arthur's village, her heart aching as she caught glimpses of a little girl with her own eyes, laughing and playing, so full of life. She saw the love Arthur gave Lily, a love she felt she could never have provided. It was a bittersweet comfort, knowing her daughter was cherished, but the guilt was a heavy cloak she wore every day. Lily grew up bright and compassionate. She excelled in her studies, her mind as sharp as her heart was kind. Arthur, now with gray in his hair and laugh lines around his eyes, beamed with pride at her every achievement. He had given her everything he had, and she had blossomed into an incredible young woman. She was accepted into a prestigious university in the city, a dream Arthur had nurtured for her since she was small. The day she left, they stood on the train platform, a bittersweet farewell between a father and daughter bound not by blood, but by a love that had defied all odds. In the city, Lily's brilliance shone even brighter. She studied architecture, driven by a desire to build homes for those who needed them, a legacy of the secure and loving home Arthur had given her. She graduated at the top of her class and quickly became renowned for her innovative and compassionate designs. She built community centers, shelters, and beautiful, affordable housing. Her work won awards, and her name became synonymous with a new kind of architecture, one that cared. Years passed. Arthur was getting older, his steps slower, but his pride in Lily never wavered. He lived in the same small house, now filled with photos of Lily and articles about her successes. One day, a letter arrived. It was an invitation to a grand ceremony in the capital, where Lily was to receive the nation's highest award for her contributions to society. Arthur's hands trembled as he held the invitation. His little girl, the baby he found on his doorstep, was being honored by the nation. On the day of the ceremony, Arthur sat in the front row, his eyes filled with tears of joy. He watched as Lily, poised and graceful, walked onto the stage. The presenter spoke of her incredible journey, her dedication, and the profound impact she had on countless lives. In the audience, hidden in the back, sat an older woman, her face etched with a lifetime of regret. It was Alara. She had followed her daughter's career from the shadows, her heart a mix of pride and sorrow. Seeing Lily on that stage, so accomplished and admired, was the culmination of all her secret hopes and deepest pains. She watched as Lily accepted the award, her gaze finding Arthur in the crowd. Lily began her speech. She thanked the committee, her colleagues, and her mentors. Then, her voice filled with emotion, she turned her attention to the front row. "But my biggest thank you," she said, her eyes locked on Arthur, "goes to my father. He is not the man who gave me life, but he is the man who gave me a life. On a cold winter's night, he found a lost, abandoned baby and chose to love her. He taught me that family isn't about blood. It's about who is there to hold your hand when you need it most. Everything I am, everything I have achieved, I owe to his unconditional love and sacrifice. The hall erupted in applause. Arthur, overcome with emotion, could only smile through his tears. In the back of the room, Alara wept silently. She wept for the daughter she never knew, for the life she couldn't give her, and for the incredible man who had. As she watched Lily and Arthur embrace on the stage, she finally found a sliver of peace. Her choice, born of desperation, had led to this beautiful moment. Her daughter was not just surviving. She was thriving, loved, and changing the world for the better. After the ceremony, as the crowd thinned, Alara saw Arthur and Lily standing together. She knew she could never be a part of their world, but she had to do one thing. She approached them hesitantly. Lily looked at her, a stranger with familiar eyes. Alara looked at Arthur, her voice barely a whisper. "Thank you," she said, her gaze filled with a gratitude so deep it needed no further explanation. Arthur looked at her, and in his gentle eyes, there was no judgment, only a quiet understanding. He simply nodded. Alara then looked at Lily, at the beautiful woman her daughter had become. "You are magnificent," she whispered, before turning and walking away, disappearing into the crowd, her long-held burden finally a little lighter. She had given up her child, but love had found a way. Lily watched her go, a flicker of recognition and 1,000 unspoken questions in her eyes. She turned to Arthur, who put a comforting arm around her. He didn't have all the answers, but he had what mattered most, a lifetime of love to give her. They stood there, father and daughter, a testament to the idea that the greatest families are the ones we build ourselves, forged in kindness and held together by love. Their story wasn't about what was lost, but about what was found. In the extraordinary power of a single act of compassion. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that touches the heart. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.